Our day went really good today. We were quickest in first practice in race trim, and then second practice, everybody's doing mock runs, we ended up fourth, and then fifth in qualifying. So it was a really good day for the Target Chevy team, and similar to Brad, it's not bad. Our first run out, I think we were in the 20s, and then we went back out and did a second in the first round, and just made small adjustments and keep up with the track. I thought. Or in the tires, we changed a little bit, so had lots of grip and had a good run there. So we're proud to start in the top 5 here, and hopefully have a good race tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Joey Logano's got a race in the Campbell Truck Series. So if anybody has a question for Joey, we'll take those first. We'll take a couple. We'll start with Stan, and then if you don't have any more, we'll excuse Joey.
Stan Creekmore with RPMTonight.com. Joey, given the time of the day and everything, did you learn anything that will be beneficial to you at the very start of the race, which will come at a similar time tomorrow?
It's hard to learn a lot about the racetrack when there's only a few cars out there. And the sun, like you said, it is going down. But I'm running a grass truck tonight, so I'm gonna get all the info I need right now. You give me about 45 minutes, I'm gonna know all about this place. But right now, I think we're still kind of shooting in the dark and not really know what we're gonna get for tomorrow night yet. So hopefully after this race, I can go back to Todd and kind of tell him what we fought, what we worked with this truck tonight.
Thank you.
All right, we'll release Joey. Joey, congratulations. Good luck in the Campbell World Truck Series. You met him this evening as well.
Great, thank you.
Okay, questions for either Brad or Kyle, starting back with Spencer. Go ahead, Lee.
Lee Spencer, motorsport.com. I have 2 questions. First, Kyle, I know a lot of this is new to you, but when Chuck announcements over the radio and says to Jimmy, you might want to follow the 42's line, what does that say for what you've been able to accomplish in such a short period of time?
I don't know. I've always seemed like I'm on a different line than somebody, so I guess that's pretty cool. Jimmy's accomplished a bunch, and Chad's the best out there too. So to have teams like that, pay attention to our 42 team. It says a lot about how well our cars are running right now, and we just got to keep it up and try and be in front of those guys.
And for Brad, what has the last week been like for you after what happened with Talladega? Do you just kind of ignore Twitter? Do you try to ignore the fans? Do you ignore the press? You just kind of go out and do your thing and put it behind you?
I don't know. I feel like people know something I don't know. I got in a wreck at a bike track and I caused it. It's like I'm the first one to ever do that or something. A wrecking's never fun, but it happens, and that's just part of racing. Anyone that doesn't see it that way obviously has a set of biases that they can't make a rational judgment. So I don't worry about their criticism.
Nate Ryan has a question. Let's give him the microphone.
Nate Ryan, USA Today Sports. Brad, I guess what many people were asking about was why race that hard if you're 5 laps down. Jimmy says, or 6.
Let's get it correct, Nate.
Hey, facts are important in this line of work.
Thank you.
Jimmy said earlier today that he wouldn't have been racing that hard. He would have been logging laps. So what would be your answer, I guess, to him and others?
My answer would be that's his right. We all hold the steering wheel. There's 43 of us out there, and we all hold it a little bit differently and make different decisions. And it would be quite lame to watch if we all did the same thing and all had the same ideas and personas. So, that's his right. I would say in most cases, I probably wouldn't have done that, but in that case, I felt like it was the proper thing to do with having the potential to race the one car and get back in sequence. And if we got back in sequence, put enough speed in our car with 3 or 4 yellows to have a shot at winning the race. And so I wasn't ready to give up. In fact, my team gave up on me, and it's my job to not give up on them.
Let's go to Matt.
Brad Williams, Speedway Digest for Brad. What has it been like lately working with Brian Bunny as he's making his Spring Cup Series debate here tomorrow?
I think it's been really rewarding, quite honestly, to see him, much like Kyle here, progress over the last 2 or 3 seasons and plays some kind of small role in it. I can remember when I was racing for Dale and kind of smile on his face when we would run well, and how that made him feel proud to be a part of it. And I didn't really know what that meant, but now I kind of see it with Ryan. When he runs well and how that feels to be a part of someone else's success. Feels like good karma, but it's more or less, kind of one of those things where there's always those cliches about happiness is best when you make someone else happy. That's true happiness, right? And seeing him, and I wish it would have worked out for him to get the race with his dad tonight, but seeing him be able to be in the sport and grow up, and seeing his dad, being so happy and being a part of, his first win, that was really cool. And I just really hope I can be a part of his first championship this year on the truck side. That's a huge goal of all of ours, but it's one of those things. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I feel like I'm kind of paying back some favors that I was given, and that makes me feel pretty good. So it's hard to put in words, but Ryan is he's his own future superstar, and for me, I want to be out there racing against the best drivers at the cup level, and Ryan's going to be one of them. And knowing that I had some part in that, will make it that much more rewarding.
Apologize for calling you Matt. Brett. I knew that.
Brett?
Brett.
Okay.
I called him Matt.
I've never met Brett before.
He's a good one.
Go down.
Raise your hand right there.
Scott Trailer, Sports Radio 810 WHB, Racing Boys. I guess this is for both of you. To start off with Kyle. Kyle, you're kind of known as the guy that jumps to the top real quick. Carl Edwards was in here earlier, and he said that the speeds are so great, the groove is narrow. Do you feel with the speeds the way they are that you'll be able to get to the top? And Brad, you can chime in on that. And by the way, Christopher Bell, good job winning that first outlaw race.
Yeah, the speeds are high, and I was talking to Ricky Stenhouse, who also likes to win the top, and he said he was this race last year up into the 3rd groove. So I don't know, it just depends on how the night racing is tomorrow, but hopefully it widens out some. I thought 1 and 2 widened out pretty well, just in the 2 cup practices, and 3 and 4 is still pretty narrow, but I imagine that'll widen out. It seemed like it did last year when I ran the nationwide race. So I don't know. I think for a freshly repaved track, this is a pretty exciting place, and the groove already seems wider than it is at Michigan or somewhere like that. That's going to be big.
Yeah, it's doubtful that the track here will widen out to the highline, but I remember one year at Richmond. It was 2008. I wasn't driving, but I was watching the Cup race, and it had rained out, and the groove got all the way up to the wall. And we've never seen that before, and we never saw it again. So I think that shows how unpredictable a track can be, and it's really dependent on the tire and the other variables of the rules on the cars, the rules packages on the cars. So never say never to that, but it's always interesting to see tracks that widen out top to bottom. I think that's the best racing we have. We've got a few tracks that are better than that than others, but I don't expect to see it this weekend.
Are you surprised how quick he's learned to run up the wall?
No, I think that's the benefit of being a dirt guy and an open wheel guy. I think sprint cars, midgets, those things. It's a great way to learn that stuff. So I would be surprised if he didn't run up there.
Other questions? Go ahead there. I believe it's Jeremiah, and then to
Jeremiah Davis, Cedar Rapids, is that for Brad? With the tires that Goodyear brought here and speeds picking up the older the tire got, how does that affect strategy going into tomorrow?
Well, it's careful what I say here, but it's not ideal by any means to have a situation where the tire doesn't degrade. It really factors into the strategy, but it's part of the situation. I would expect to see a lot of different strategies, a lot of guys that push their fuel to the limits because fuel is now the fall factor. Literally, when you run out of gas and your car shuts off. Where we've seen other situations where I think stock car racing is most known for tire degradation to the point where someone can put on new tires and beat you with it. And in this case, the prevalence of clean air kind of dictates that that's not the case, but it is certainly a huge factor in the race. I think more so than the strategy, what sticks out to me is just how unbelievably treacherous the racing is once the cars get side by side. So all those things factor in, and the tire plays a huge role in what you see for racing and what you will see for racing this weekend.
Lee?
SpencerMotorsport.com. Can either one of you talk about the wind? Did you feel much wind during qualifying down the backstretch?
I didn't feel, I'm sorry.
And
Maybe I should have.
it's just usually a factor here. And Kyle, I guess a couple weeks back at Richmond, Sean came over the radio and he was talking a little bit about trying to keep your head in like a zen place. I mean, is that just, is that just kind of taken on some of his persona as far as how he dictates the race, tries to keep you, calm and
On yours?
Yeah.
Do you have to do the little shoe?
I think we're both always calm.
Okay, I'll do that when these guys are done.
I was a little stressed out.
I know, well,
I was
Harvick
calm after
can't
that,
really
and,
just stick on
decided to
Harvick
go to
with
work, and
Okay.
I think both of
Not
us
gonna be
have
still.
similar personalities, and I don't know, maybe he thinks I get stressed out sometimes, but I don't a whole lot. And but it's good to have a guy like that can kind of talk to you a little bit and keep you, or try and keep you more calm than you already are. But I think we work well together, and I think we're just gonna keep growing as a team and start running even better than we are.